Let's do it.
Well, hey everyone, welcome to the Real Life Podcast, and I am your host, Dale Satram, and I am here with my great co-host, Katie Jones.
Hi, friends.
It is good to have you here,
Yes.
and thanks for joining us. This is the place where we talk about real things, real issues, the messy, the controversial, the things that maybe you wouldn't have a conversation at work.
Or with a pastor about.
Or with a pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can certainly do that with us here, okay? So, anyway.
We're back.
I'm back,
We
okay?
missed you last week.
Oh, I hope so.
Yes.
It's nice to be missed.
Yes.
But we had a good time.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
were
Tell
camping.
us about it.
Yeah, we went camping as a family. You know, I am a great advocate of people making memories. Go out and make memories with the people you love because, hey, you know what? Tomorrow, next year, retirement, those things, it's not guaranteed. So if you have the opportunity or make the opportunity to do that now.
So good.
So we were camping, large family, my wife's side of the family. It was 28 of us at Newport.
Oh my gosh.
Tons of fun.
Is this a yearly thing?
Yearly thing. We've been doing it for
so
decades.
fun.
I mean, we've been doing it for, oh my gosh. I mean, well, let's see. We've been married 38 years, almost our entire married life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a tradition.
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
so
good.
Fun.
So yeah, I was there with my kids, son-in-laws, my grandkids. So we just had tons
Love
of
it.
fun, made tons of memories, hung out
Lots
on
of
the beach.
handstands.
Yes.
If you follow PD on Instagram, you know what we're talking about.
Yes.
If not, you better go do it.
You better check that
Yes.
out. My granddaughter and I were doing handstands on the beach. She was like, "Papa, do handstands with me." I'm like, "Lord, help me not die." So anyway, but we did. We did
The
handstands.
oldest tweaked back as it happened.
I didn't record the cartwheels we were doing because then she was like, "Papa, let's do cartwheels together." Okay.
Okay.
I
Did
did.
you do them?
Yeah, darn right I did.
Love that.
Yeah, I'm not how good they looked, but we did them. All right.
Yeah, a little bit of, little hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was doing them with one arm, one hand. Do it with what? I said,
Dang.
no, I'm using two. I'm
I draw the line.
I draw
with
the line.
2 hands.
I've got a couple more pounds on you than your little lightweight thing flipping around. That's easy for you. So
yeah.
it was a good time, and
I love that. I think that's very inspiring too. You just talking about taking care of your body and being able to do those things. I think that's really good for people to be able to hear.
I did in that that Instagram post. I showed a little bit of clip of working out in the gym, and you're right. It's a value of mine. It's, we are going to get older, but I think we don't have to just give up and get old and weak. Listen, I know it's inevitable, but I don't want to speed that process up. And I think sometimes we just give up. And, I'm thankful that God allows me to be healthy. He gives me the will and the desire to work out. And, like I said, maybe one of these times we'll just have to have an episode just on that.
Overdue.
God's given you one body. I think we should do a
temple,
reasonably
right?
job. Yeah, reasonable job taking care of the temple.
The temple.
Of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Because it just allows us to enjoy life more. I want to enjoy life as long as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And so, I want to be able to do cartwheels and handstands at 60 years old. I also had a picture of climbing trees to get my wife's disc out of as we were playing disc golf. Okay, so
multiple reasons why you work
multiple
out. Sometimes
reasons
to get the discs out of the tree.
Yeah,
and,
it is. I just why just give up and let that process happen? So I know I say all the time, choose your hard. It's hard to be out of shape. It's hard to be in shape.
Yep, absolutely.
So
I think. So we were going to talk a little bit to you guys about kind of the seasons we're in right now.
Yep.
And you almost have a good segue because even with working out, have you ever just gone through seasons where let's just say someone's listening and they're like, I'm just so tired. I'm tired all the time.
Yeah.
What has that been like? Have you had that before and what did you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a good question. I think sometimes people, they see me and when I'm in the public arena, I mean, people light me up and, it's I'm high energy and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then when I don't, boy, people think, what is wrong with Pastor Dale? Oh my gosh, okay. But honestly, I'm kind of in one of those seasons right now, Katie, where I'm just tired more than normal. And so sometimes, I look at myself and go, what is wrong with me? And
Mhm.
then I have to step back and just kind of remember some of the things that I've learned over the years about energy management. And that's a whole nother topic. And so I start looking at, even fun things require energy. Energy is, you invest energy in everything that you do. We only have a certain amount of energy. And so, as I kind of looking at life, and there's energy invested. You have emotional energy, you have spiritual energy, you have physical energy, you have mental energy. Then after a while, you start seeing that there have been a lot of things in life that has required a lot of energy output, but not enough times to recover.
Mhm.
So life's really all about sprinting and recovering, and it's I don't think life's a marathon race. I think life's more of short sprints. You sprint and recover. You sprint and recover.
Mm.
So I start finding myself, if I'm overly tired, I haven't had enough recovery time, and sometimes even vacations aren't recovery, especially if there was a lot of energy output. And it can be
Lots of
fun.
handstands
Well,
and
exactly,
cartwheels.
and it can be
Yeah.
fun energy. So I think part of that too is knowing what recovery looks like,
Yeah.
what puts back into you, what type of relationships put back into you, what time off, what does it look like?
Mm.
All those things go into that
Yeah.
conversation. So, yeah, I'm
You have a
tired.
very go-getter personality, and dare I say, I do as well.
Yes, you do, Katie.
I
Yes,
would love to
which
hear.
is why this works.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. You're ahead of the game, so I can just pick your brain on all
Yeah.
this stuff. But I have these two competing voices where on the one hand, I know it's biblical. God tells us we need rest.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other hand, I feel like, oh, you're being a little baby. Like you can do this. Or
Mm-hmm.
I seem like,
Push through it, Katie. Come on.
yes, yep. Like,
Yeah.
and I know, and this is the RLP, the real life podcast, so I can just be honest with
Uh-huh.
you guys. Even after my marathon in June, so I haven't been running as much, and I feel like anxious to sign up for another one because I'm like, oh, what am I if
Uh-huh.
and I do work out every day,
Right.
but I just still feel like, oh, like I need to be training for some. It's a weird, like, an unhealthy probably piece of identity wrapped
Mm-hmm.
up in accomplishing things, and I
Yeah.
can see that, and I know that's not what the Lord wants for me. But how do you get out of it? How do you slow down without feeling like guilty? Or I know it's a big question.
Well,
I just
it's a big question, and I'll be honest with you. I was not good at it at your age, okay? And so, and I don't want to blame stuff on age. I think we use age as an excuse for far too many things in our culture, okay? I mean, I go to the doctor. Oh, it's his age. I go, shut up, okay? I've
wanna
actually
hear
said that to
that.
doctors. I don't want to hear that. I think it's a scapegoat, But age, life, experience. The accumulation of life. So forget the age thing. It's just the accumulation of decades. So I think that when I was 30 years old, I did not understand how to rest. I mean, I just didn't. I was so highly
you were
driven.
starting a church at that time too.
Well,
and-
yes. I mean, there was a lot going on. Kids were young, and I had even more energy back then than I have now. I mean, and we'd go on vacation. And, I would let the family sleep, and I would be out of bed, 2 hours before everybody else, and going on, 2-3 mile walks, and then come back and get breakfast going for everybody. I mean, I just couldn't sit still. So, part of that is, as I have gotten older, I learned a lot more about energy management. I didn't understand that at all when I was younger. I would just run hard, fast, long, and then kind of I would hit the wall. And so, and then you're no
what
good
did the
for
wall
anybody.
hit? Yeah, I was gonna say when you knew you hit the wall, what did it feel like for you? What did it look like?
Well, it was just fatigue, and it was, it could be mental, emotional, physical. For me, a lot of it was mental and emotional. Because you're in a job where you're dealing with people all the time. So a lot of that, I just didn't understand how much mental and emotional energy that took out of me. Physically, I was fine.
Yeah.
What's my problem? I got lots of energy, but internally, I was tanked. So it's part of that is self-knowledge. It's understanding yourself and understanding what's going on. It's understanding your thinking. Okay, what's the unhealthy thinking that is actually taking energy from me? Because unhealthy thinking takes energy. makes you spin out, causes you to not relax, makes you feel guilty for relaxing. See, what you're burning energy.
Yeah.
It's mental energy, it's emotional energy, but you're not at peace with yourself. When you're at peace with yourself, that helps you recharge. So as time has gone on, and usually for me it's been through painful lessons, I have been intentional with trying to learn how to relax. Take time off, try to understand what recharges me physically, what recharges me emotionally, what recharges me mentally, because you don't have one tank, you have multiple tanks. And so you kind of have to figure out, I mean, you have a physical tank, you have a mental tank, emotional tank, and a spiritual tank.
Okay,
you have
that
four
makes
of them.
sense. Yep, I see that.
So you can be on E on any one of those. So if you want to operate at a high performance level, you have to have 4 tanks full. So that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, dang. Well, good check-in.
Yeah, I know. A little bit of therapy, a little bit of...
yeah. Any of you relate to that? Let us know. Leave a comment. Tell us if you struggle with any of that. Or you just think we're crazy.
So part I'm just going, I'm tired. Why am I so tired?
Yeah.
Again, it's and then just trying to identify what that is, and now what do I need to do? Instead of just pushing through, which is what my old paradigm was. Just work harder, Dale.
Yeah. Oh, I for sure relate to that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, it's just a season. You get through it.
And you know what? And sometimes you are in a season.
Yes.
And you do have to get through it.
Yes.
It's not wrong.
Right.
It's just that often that's our default setting for everything. And if that's your default setting for everything, that might not be what you need to do right now. So, anyway.
Good talk. All right. Well, we have a couple surprises for PD.
Oh, boy.
The first one, I wanted to ask you, had you heard about the Chip and Joanna Gaines drama? And do you know who they are, by the way? Probably should start with
Chip
that.
and no.
Oh, okay. Well,
this will be fun.
They are a long time, and I haven't been following them. I just have seen this blow up recently, and I'd love to get your take. But so essentially, the summary is they have their own TV show. They were like Home Improvement.
Okay.
They're Christians.
All right.
They go to, I think it's called Atriarch. Like it's some sort of a pretty conservative church.
All right.
So here's the drama.
Good for them.
Let me break it down for you. Okay, it's called the Magnolia Network, and that's them. So it's on HBO Max. This series is a historical social experiment with 3 families living like 1880s homesteaders. One featured family is Jason, Hannah, and Joe Riggs, which is a gay couple raising their twin sons, and then the rest are pretty much just regular heterosexual couples. So this is their Chip and Joanna Gaines, their show they put together. And they've never really dove into like what they think on LGBT, but they have had a ton of backlash for having that couple on this show.
Okay.
And
because they're Christians, right?
Yes.
So it's a Christian show?
No, it's not a Christian
show.
Okay.
It's they're just Christians.
But they're Christians.
Okay.
They put this show together. And from my understanding, and I haven't watched this show, so if you have, you could let me know. It's pretty, it's rated G. It's just families like learning how to, they were trying to live like the 1880s.
1880s,
yes.
Okay, got it.
Yep. So there is strong voiced disapproval. And their response, basically, this is Chip, the husband. He says, talk, ask questions, listen, maybe even learn. Too much to ask of modern American Christian culture. Judge first, understand later, never. So he basically rebuked this judgmental cultural norms and advocated for compassionate dialogue. So, you have some really big figures I've seen take really harsh stances on
against these people?
Yes, big Christian figures where I was actually a little surprised by the and again, we're talking about this because this is a big thing right now in the Christian culture. So not just because we're trying to be a gossip column, I would love to get some biblical references and hear what your take is on this.
Well, okay, so obviously I am
on the fly.
Yes, on the fly. And I know nothing about this except what you told me.
Yes.
And so, but yet you still want my opinion. So here it is.
Yes.
I have lots of questions. What's the point of the show?
And from my understanding, there's no winning. It's just to see which families could, I don't know if it's a length of time. They have to gather their own food, try and build their own houses.
So the point of the show is to show how you could live in 1880 style. Okay,
Yes.
I mean you're living like 1880 people.
Yep.
That's the point of the show.
Yep.
It's not a Christian show.
Not
It's
from my
not. It's not
understanding.
promoted as a. Here is a Christian-based, faith-based show. We're okay. So part of me is like the show, and it's on HBO Max.
Yes.
And
Unless
the
I'm
show's
misunderstanding, but
the
I
show's
don't
point
think
is
it's
to
a
make.
Christian show.
I'm assuming the show's point is to make money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But because they're a Christian couple, they've been open about like them being a Christian couple. They have lots of kids.
Okay.
So this is just one quote from Franklin Graham, a prominent evangelical figure, voiced strong disapproval, claiming the inclusion contradicts biblical values.
Okay. Was the whole point of the show to teach people biblical values? Was the
Not
point
from
of the
my
show
understanding.
it's to make money, and it's a business. So could as a business owner, could they not hire a gay or lesbian couple? I'm just.
See,
What's the point? Is the point if the point is to show Christian values? Then I agree with Franklin Graham. But if the whole point is you're an entrepreneur people, you have an idea, it's a business, you're going to make money. Come on, what's the point? Is the point trying to teach people biblical values? If that's the point of the show, I agree with Franklin Graham. If the point of the show is I'm an entrepreneur and I'm making money, then it makes sense to have a gay couple on there because you're going to have a wider audience. Sorry.
Yeah. I think the issue is that they are a Christian couple.
Okay.
And they are making money off of this show.
Maybe they're demonstrating how to treat people who are gay, and maybe there's some other things they're showing there. I mean, I know nothing about the show, so I am talking
Neither
off the
do I.
cuff,
Yep.
and so.
This
But there's
has
just a part of me that I'm trying to understand what's the whole point of the show, and if the point of the show is secular, but they happen to be Christians. I mean, so you're condemning that. Well, then use that same standard elsewhere. So if I'm a Christian, I start a business, I have to have legal hiring practices. I don't know. Now, if you're a nonprofit and you're a Christian nonprofit, I get it. I mean, it's different. We're operating in different kingdoms, and there's a different. I mean, we hire differently here too. You're working at a church. You're going to have to embrace our values. I get it. So I guess I'm a little confused where the controversy is.
Yeah, I was hoping you could help me with that.
Oh,
Because
yeah, I cleared it up, didn't I?
Okay, because my first initial reaction too was pretty much the same, as in like I was really surprised at the harshness of a lot of Christians towards it, because it wasn't like they were it didn't. And again, I haven't watched the show, so I'm in the same boat as you.
Right.
But from what I read, and my understanding is, it wasn't like they were, they're getting married here, and like we're promoting this as like a Christian thing. It was just, they're part of the challenge. And as Christians, we live in a secular world. We're gonna have to be kind to people that maybe don't adapt our beliefs and have our same. So I was just like, dang, like. I understand there are things to take a stand on, but this is a weird hill for Christians to die on, to me.
It seems like it is. I think there's other, I mean, there seems like there's other places to take a stand on this issue. You want to take a stand on this issue, there are places to do that, but on a secular show, just because there's Christians on it, I don't know. Okay, now, granted, I don't have all the information, and there might be something about the show that I don't understand that would change my perspective.
Sure, let us know.
But on the surface, I'm kind of like you. Really? I mean, there are other things to get a little more worked up about than this. So
I get really frustrated when I see. Now, don't get me wrong, because there are things where I'm like, yeah, we should be taking a stand for certain things.
Well, sure.
Absolutely, I completely can get behind certain things, but I get really frustrated when. You have to realize when you are a Christian and you're posting stuff and you are just all of a sudden you're picking this and you have this huge platform and you're picking this to like pick apart and just really focus on this. you never know who is following or who maybe has been curious about,
Right.
and they see that just this off the cuff response, and it just totally turns them off. Now, everything's in God's control. Everything's in God's hand. He's
Right.
going to guide people to him accordingly, but you do have an impact. And how you present yourself and your beliefs really does matter. And we've said it a million times on here. People they're not going to care what you think first until they think you care about them first.
Right.
And so it just felt a little yuck to me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get your take on
Yeah,
it.
I get it. Yeah, it does too on the surface for that for
We
what
could
we
be
know.
missing something.
Maybe
for
we
sure.
are, but on the surface it's like, really? Yeah, let's fight some bigger battles because whatever.
Yeah.
It's a show. And if it doesn't go over well, nobody's going to even remember it a year from now.
Yeah.
Who cares? Moving on. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well,
There's my reaction.
that was the first one. Yeah. The second one. Okay. This is huge this week. And PD was like, I probably haven't seen it. I don't know if you have or not. Have you seen the Coldplay concert?
Huh?
The Coldplay concert? The you know how they have the kiss cams?
Oh, okay.
Did you see this?
Coldplay.
Like, wait a second. Do you
All right.
know who Coldplay is?
No.
PD.
I know. Who's
This is not-
Coldplay?
all right. We're gonna give you some.
There are
homework
people out
after
there
this.
laughing right now. And then there are other people like me going, I don't know who they are either, PD.
They do have.
You're my people right there. You're all my people. But anyways.
They're one of those bands that actually puts out art music. Like you have coming and going bands.
Yeah.
These guys talk about deep stuff. They're just a good band. I really like
Coldplay.
them. Coldplay. You
All right.
might like. They have a lot of
I'm going to
deep,
have to go
deeper
listen to them.
meaning in their
All right.
songs.
All right.
But at
I
their
might like them.
concerts,
They might be my
they're-
new favorite
Yeah,
band.
You come back and report
Okay, next
and
week.
let us know.
Yeah.
So at one of their most recent concerts, they're known for having a kiss cam, kind of like at like sports.
Oh, yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking.
Big
You
old
know about
jumbo
that.
cams, and they show
Yes.
people, oh, and everybody
So,
cheers. Yeah.
We're gonna have PD in real time watch this kiss cam, and you tell me. I love that you haven't seen this. This has literally been all over people's feed. Okay, here we go.
All right. Here we go. I'm watching.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Well, it's the moment. Oh,
Well, he
What-
obviously didn't want to be on the kiss cam.
I was. I was literally just.
He's
Gonna,
ducking out of view.
yeah.
I'm like, seriously?
So this
right.
is another big thing that people. It's just one of those moments people just can't stop talking about. I mean, it's such a treat that you haven't seen this. It's such a treat. We're getting the real in the raw footage of PD seeing this.
Okay.
So if you guys are under a rock like PD, we just showed it. But so yeah, I think a lot of people are really buzzing about this. And
Okay.
What this.
So
I-
the CEO.
They're both married. It turns out she was in HR.
Oh.
Yes. So
Okay.
what's really it is.
Well, then he's a moron.
It's karma.
First of all, you're
But let's see. I'm gonna try and keep it Jesus-like here, right?
Okay, sorry.
I'm feeling really bad for their kids because a lot of people are trying to get interviews with their kids, and it's turning. It's like
oh.
I don't have anything to compare this to because I don't remember people caring this much ever before about like
Well, why do they care?
I
So what's
I
okay?
think it's a
Yeah, two
karma thing.
people
They
having
got
an
caught.
affair. You're in a public place, which was stupid.
Yeah.
And so you're obviously not being very careful. I'm not condoning anything by saying this, but
Well,
it's-
we are condoning affairs, but
yeah. And now you're gonna get us in trouble. But
but-
you're like, how stupid are you? But okay, and then you're gonna be stupid, and then karma does
it
kind of
was a
suck,
little bit
huh?
of justice, I think.
And then you're on a kiss cam.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. So, good for you.
That was your guys' mini little gossip
and,
conversation here, but
But okay, so
It
the
is-
larger thing is, why is it such a big deal? Is this CEO crazy well known? Is he some famous dude?
I don't think so. I think it was just the
So it's a
matter-
random dude.
It's just random. I'm actually literally shocked you hadn't seen this on your feed. I feel
I
like
probably
so
did, but
many
I'm like
people-
stupid, and I
Yeah.
just went. I just didn't. I didn't even. didn't even look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's why.
I mean, I feel like, it's just, it's a, it does dive into a deeper issue, right? Of like you get, I guess you just get so almost a little bit cocky when you think you're just never gonna get caught, and
I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Sad.
I don't know.
I feel for their spouses. I really do. At the end of the day, you know, it makes me smile just because of the karma piece of it a little bit, but I also am like, oh, my heart hurts for people to be
I guess
cheated on. Nobody. That's just so hard and sad.
it is. I guess I'm more fascinated by why
People's
people are so.
obsession.
Yes. Why are people
I couldn't
obsessed
tell ya.
over that?
I
That
keep
kind of
seeing
blows
it.
me away.
There's articles. People are trying to get they're just very invested in.
I don't understand that at all. That's
Yeah.
weird to me. I'm like, that's why I didn't even read it. I'm sure I saw it. And I went,
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
I don't care. Somebody's having an affair. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds terrible, but I
Right.
don't care.
Yeah.
And moving on, you know, why do you want to be so invested? These people's lives are destroyed.
Yeah.
Moving on. Let them go figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we're going to be obsessed with these. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
Yeah.
maybe because I've also been a pastor and I have done marriage counseling for decades and have talked with people who've had affairs and on, and you're like, it's part of me that's like, y'all need to shut up, because karma is, you know what that word is. You better all be careful
Yeah.
in your self-righteous judgments, because
Yeah. You know, and
life has a way of humbling you. Be
Yeah.
careful.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Before you start saying, I would never.
Yes.
You know how many people have sat in my office who have said that? Be careful.
Yeah. I was just going to say, and I'm only 30, but I'm shocked. Me and Jared both have seen so many couples go through infidelity. And we've been together a long time. We've been together since we were 15. But it's the strongest people can fall to it if you're not so intentional and so careful and loyal, and like it's just I have no room for judgment on it, but I also
That's why it fascinates me why people are so obsessed with it. That's why I don't get it. Maybe it's because
I couldn't tell you why we're obsessed with it. I'm not, but it's a big thing right now.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
No.
I know.
I'm still kind of.
You got nothing.
I got nothing. It's like, wow.
But we had to talk about it because everybody else is.
It's kind of like the last topic, folks. There are more important issues.
Yeah.
There just is.
Yeah.
People's personal lives and their pain and their mistakes. I think there's a morbid curiosity, and I think there is also a. I'm gonna get myself in a lot of trouble here. I think there's just a fleshly, broken piece in us that wants to feel morally superior to the people that were on the kiss cam. And you know what, folks? I love you out there, but you're not morally superior.
Yeah.
You're just not. Yeah. And I think that we want to we gravitate towards it. Yeah. We see other people's mistakes and we see other people's sin and we see I'm just better than that. Right. Like I said, life has a way of humbling us. You just be careful.
So true.
All right. So
absolutely.
If not for the grace of God, folks, anyway.
Yeah. Well said. That was hey, way to put a bow on that one for sure. Okay.
All right.
Last big thing. Woo. We can't not talk about this, you guys. I'm sorry. We will have time for your questions. I promise we've got them. But we have to talk about the Epstein stuff. It's a must. It's a must. Have you been keeping up with it?
A little bit. So at least I'm
okay.
a little more. I read a few things, and yes, so I've tracked that a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like, and without trying to get too political, I will tell you guys, the only silver lining that I can find so far is I think a lot of people are coming together. A lot of people are uniting a little bit over it because...
what are they uniting over?
I'll throw myself in here too. If we can all stand together and take a stand on giant blackmailing and child and sex trafficking rings, that's a good place to be.
I agree.
I think it's a good thing for people to be like making noise about. which they are. A lot of people are, because we're being blatantly I will put this out there. There probably is a lot going on behind the scenes we have no idea about.
Absolutely.
I will throw that out there. I'm not making excuses, but at face value, like, it's very clear we're being lied to, I feel like, and gaslit. Because one of the big reasons I was excited to vote for Trump was, JFK files, Epstein files, final. And it's not just about the juiciness of these
True.
hidden things. It's taking part in a society that tells people the truth.
So what do you think we're being lied to about, Katie?
Yeah, my first initial reaction.
Now
was,
I'm going to interview you. What do you think?
I was irritated. I was really irritated because I also think it's kind of a slap in the face to victims.
Yeah.
I think that I can't speak for them, but I also feel like trying to say, there is nothing here to see. But when you just told us a couple months ago, like, we want to really protect the victims, what were we talking about then? But now you're sweeping it under the rug and saying that it didn't happen to them when we know it did.
So you think there is a list? Do you think there's a list?
I think there absolutely is a list
Okay.
of clients. Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
I mean, I've dove into the rabbit trail a little bit. I won't lie to you guys.
Obviously. I'm having fun listening to your reactions over this.
Well, you just look at his history. How does someone that's a teacher, who also didn't even have a degree, just had a high school diploma, a teacher, go to being bank operating for some of the wealthiest people in the world? How does that happen? And so, again, this is what I mean when I say I think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than we know.
There's no doubt.
I also think it's really weird that Ghislaine?
Maxwell?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
You just said Maxwell.
Hasn't been, she's come out and said, nobody's asked me anything.
Well, but now they want her to testify.
Yeah, but
bring it on.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just like, there's some weird things. The other weird thing, I'll just leave here and then.
Now I hope she doesn't all of a sudden die of suicide. Oh, sorry.
Right. No joke. No joke.
Right?
So crazy.
We're all thinking it.
It's just too
She's
much.
going to testify, and if she dies, come on.
We need to get tinfoil hats.
I know.
Yeah,
now we're sounding like conspiracy theorists.
But it becomes so much things to where and we do have short memories. Like, I don't know if it's an American thing or if it's a human thing, but like, we're on to the next shiny thing. But this one in particular, I think people are just really having a hard time letting go of, because it's not adding up. The other thing, the same prosecutor, I don't remember her name, the same prosecutor for Epstein, Maxwell, and Diddy was on this case. That to me is weird. Out of 5,000 prosecutors you could have picked from, you picked the same one for all three of these high-profile cases. What the heck is going on? I'm just...
Okay.
Anyways,
this sounds like a topic that will have to be continued, because it's unfolding.
Yes.
And we'll have to come back here and
let us know what you guys think.
Listen to you rant a little bit. I like it.
Hey, I'll preface this because we always want to take it back to Jesus, right?
Okay, take it back to Jesus.
I have let go of listening to, or I'm in the process. It's down to 50%. I'm listening to, good Christian podcasts in the morning over this stuff in the morning.
Right.
I will say that. I'm trying my best to be rooted, and we're just in a broken world. It's the case, but there are some things worth taking a stand over and making some noise
Absolutely.
over.
Absolutely.
So.
And if we could ever get down to the truth.
Yeah.
And that's I think sometimes the dilemma is that you really get tired of people that are protected, from there needs to be justice, and I think that's inherently what we crave, is we want justice. Yeah. I think God made us that way. It's part of being made in His image. We want justice. Yeah. And when you don't see it, and then you don't see it kind of on the massive stage like this, and especially now when you talk about child trafficking, and I mean those huge issues that, you're right, we should take stands on these issues. Maybe not an HBO series, okay? Who cares? Right. But this issue,
yes,
we should care about that. So and seeing people that are brought to justice.
It's an egregious evil.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
There's no other way to put
I
it.
agree.
I think that's the thing that's giving me comfort, is that there are so many people, whether they're not Christian, whether they're Democrat, whether they're Republican, that are putting their foot down and saying, like, enough is enough. Like we cannot be covering for people. We don't want to be a society that the people representing us are doing these sick things to people. So I think that's my one like piece of comfort, is that there's still a lot of like people that want the justice.
Yep,
and
they do.
yeah.
Let's hope we get it.
Nate,
We'll
yes,
see.
Yeah.
To be continued.
To be continued. All right. Well, let's get on to our question. I don't know if we'll have time for all of these because I did rant a little bit.
Yeah,
So sorry,
I liked
guys.
it.
But this one, and I told you, it kind of goes because if you've been following the Epstein closely, you're starting to realize this might just be a coincidence. But the weekend, it was 4th of July weekend. Netanyahu. I can't say his name.
Netanyahu.
Thank you. Netanyahu.
Bibi.
Yeah, Bibi. Came to town that weekend, and that's the weekend that this all got shut down. Nope, nothing to see here. That people are really like
Coincidence?
Yeah, coincidence. I don't know, but as a Christian, we're very divided on this. Is pro-Israel, or like, oh, is Israel doing some bad things, and like, oh, or we're a little scared to say that because they're God's people. Like, so I'd love to talk about this question. You guys wrote this in. This is great. So this person writes, okay, guys, I'm having trouble understanding what is the significance of Israel. Why is this place important outside of historical significance? Is this elevation of one piece of God's land over other pieces of God's land even of any importance to us? Is the worship of Israel idolatry? This place is a hotbed of death and suffering, which is now populated by people who deny Christ. What makes this desert better than the Mojave? Again, outside of simple historical significance. And why back a nation who thinks we are a lot of confused idiots at best and full-on blasphemers and at worst being Christians, that is. Please make it make sense, or in other words, help me understand, PD. I didn't write this one, I promise. But I love it.
No, it's a great question.
Yeah.
It really is a great question because, why should we care? I mean, we should always care about anti-Semitism or anything like that. Any people group that's getting that's getting, discriminated against or attacked, or we should care. But why is Israel such a focus? So I'm going to try to make a great question, big question, try to make it simple in a short amount of time. So
big task.
No pressure.
Praying for you.
Yeah, thanks, Katie. So first of all, I believe it goes back to the Abrahamic covenant. So Christians are divided on the implications of the Abrahamic covenant. Abrahamic covenant, first place it shows up, and I'm just going to read this to you. Okay, what's the Abrahamic covenant? It is the agreement. A covenant means promise, and so it is the promises that God gave to Abraham and his future generations. And that Abrahamic covenant first shows up in Genesis chapter 12 when God called Abraham. Let me read it to you. Genesis 12. The Lord said to Abram, who later was called Abraham, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land I will show you." And here's the promises. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great so that you will be a blessing. Now, here's the part you need to understand. I will bless those who bless you, and to him who dishonors you, I will curse. And in you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. Now, there's different pieces and parts in there that we can talk about, but here's the division. Is the Abrahamic covenant still in play today? Or is the Abrahamic covenant null and void because it's already been fulfilled? That was unique to, let's just say, up through the Old Testament until Jesus came, and now it's a different covenant, a different system, if you will. So there's the divide. So you have Christians who believe that the Abrahamic covenant is still relevant today, and if it's still relevant today, it literally says God will curse you if basically you dishonor Israel. If you're not going to be an ally to Israel. So this is where it goes. If we're not going to ally ourselves with Israel, then we are setting ourselves up basically for God to curse us as a nation. Well, now, if you believe that, your policy is going to follow that, your perspective, your lens, you're going to interpret Israel's actions through a completely different lens than other people. I mean, it's a big deal.
It is. This
Because
is
now all of a
huge.
sudden you see it as a biblical mandate from God to align yourself with Israel. Now, even though you may agree, and there are plenty of Christians who believe that the Abrahamic covenant is still in play and that we need to be aligned with Israel as a nation, it does not mean we have to agree with all their actions. That's not what it's asking us to do. So we can still be supportive of Israel as a nation. We can be allies. We can disagree with some of their actions. We can disagree with maybe how they're handling things in Gaza, how they're handling, all their ongoing attack and humanitarian issues that are going on. I mean, so it is okay for us to disagree with what they're doing. So trying to make help this make sense. It's not, we don't worship Israel, of course not. We're not loyal to a piece of desert. And Israel is actually a lot more than desert, but that's another topic. It's really pretty in the north. Anyway, so
Quick plug too. You're going.
yes, want to go to Israel with me?
Yeah, you could go to Israel with Petey. Go follow him on his Instagram. 'Cause he'll have more info.
Listen,
over there.
yes, but it is October 2026. Okay, you got a long time out in front,
Yeah.
but you need to get reserved. You need to get your deposit in. We are going to go to Israel for 10 days, and with a little more money, you can stay an extra 3 days, and I will take you into Jordan. And we will go into Petra and just some amazing places. So there's a quick plug.
Who wouldn't want to go?
Come
travel
on,
with this
it's a
guy?
good
Come
time,
on,
let me
be
tell
a
you.
Good time.
And and then some of the stuff will actually make more sense.
Yeah.
There's something about
I
being
believe that.
in the historical, the geographical context. Anyway, so it is way more than just a piece of ground. So
And we've said this a lot of times. I think it's so important to understand because I look at a lot of this stuff and I'm like, how could we possibly support certain things? But there's evil governments, but the people are oftentimes
right.
still good people. You
Right.
know, so like it's you can't throw everybody in with their government.
Yep, no, it's true.
So
It's true. But the
It's such
simple
a
answer
big
to
topic.
this question, and it's such a great question.
Yeah,
It
seriously.
goes back to the Abrahamic covenant. Now, so if you believe that we're still living under the Abrahamic covenant, then this is why you have, even governments. If we have a Judeo-Christian ethic, values, where does a lot of that comes from? Okay, well, this is why we support Israel. You have people that are Christians that are making decisions in government because they believe that we don't want God to curse us, and so we need to align ourselves. That's why. And then other people feel like it's done, it's over, has no bearing on us whatsoever, and they're just there's nothing special about Israel anymore. And that's going to influence your decisions.
yeah.
So there you go.
Well,
There's your answer.
yeah, that was that was a good neutral giving both sides.
Yeah, well, you need to see both sides.
Yeah.
I think sometimes
What do you think?
I knew you were waiting for me. You were just waiting for that one, huh? You dropped
I have
that one.
to.
Well, I think that I think Israel is still special to God.
Yeah.
And that does not mean we agree with everything they're doing. So, yeah, I dropped a little bit of my theological perspective then in that.
It's pretty level-headed, I would think.
Well, I think sometimes people have this blind loyalty to Israel, and
Yeah.
I don't think
I see that a lot, and I think that's what people are.
Yeah, and I think that's
Getting upset over.
I think that's unwise.
Bec-
They're still people, and so okay, if they're still God's chosen people in a special, unique relationship, okay, but they still need to come to Jesus just like we do, all right. But at the same time, is there still something unique with Israel? Well, I do believe there is, and I think that we need to be careful of our relationship with them, and not treat them just like anybody else. It is fascinating to me that again, this would be a whole other topic. Why is Israel so picked on? They've been picked on for 2,000 years. Why? There's actually something supernatural in the opposition against Israel. It's kind of fascinating. If there was no special relationship with God, why is the enemy? Why does he go after them so much? It's weird why people hate Israel. Anti-Semitism is weird. It is a weird. Why don't we hate Greeks? Why don't we hate this? Why don't we hate another people group? Why do we hate Israel so much? It is spiritual. It is spiritual. So,
yeah, no,
makes no sense.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. It's funny. It's like interesting to hear like that take for sure. And then I hear, well, it's because they also are they're taking constantly, like it's a land grab. So
they were hated ever before they moved back to Israel in 1948.
Yeah.
Why did Hitler want to exterminate them? Why? I mean, and throughout history, they've been picked on. Again, people, get a little history. It is fascinating. And then how on earth did they retain their Jewishness for 1900 years?
Yeah, that's pretty.
No other people group dispersed across the world without a country. Who does that? Okay, so there is something supernatural in regards to their history that is really difficult to deny.
Yeah.
So you have to understand even you have the Abrahamic covenant, and then you just have 1900 years of history since Jerusalem was destroyed in 70 A.D. and they were dispersed across the world.
Yeah.
Weird.
I think
you just gotta.
You bring up great points, and I do think two things can be true at once. I think that they're for sure that everything you're saying is absolutely true, correct. But could there also be terrible leadership that has made some really awful decisions and hurt lots of other people that have caused them to really have that distaste for them?
Yes, absolutely.
Two things could happen.
And I think that's where, again, I go back to, we're not talking about a blind obedience or blind loyalty. You know, I may not agree everything that they're doing either. So just because I still believe that God has a unique plan for Israel doesn't mean I have to agree with him all the time.
Right.
So you're right. They still have secular leadership, and they act like it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So doesn't mean they're godly.
I appreciate that perspective too, because I'll be honest, I've been struggling with this one a little bit. But again, fully aware that like, you can't base a whole people off their government. No. Like
it's hard watching the humanitarian crisis going on.
Or it's difficult. I'll be honest with you guys. I struggle a little bit with it being allowed to have dual citizenship and serve in Congress in America or serve in government. I don't know if I agree with that, and I think we have a lot of that. Feels a little like a little infiltration to me, personally.
Whole another topic.
Yeah, another topic. But I feel like there's a big picture, but also as followers of Jesus, you should never be grouping in an entire group and being mean and angry at an entire group. You know, it's always a select few people at the top making decisions that just bleed, just like with any race, anything.
And aren't we called to be compassionate and merciful? Feed your enemy, serve your enemy. No, I mean, governments aren't charged to do that, but people are.
Well, now you're pushing buttons.
Okay.
Okay, we had more questions, but we might just have to save them for our next episode.
All right.
We're already at like an hour here. So you guys are great. We love the RLP squad, and we've got goals. We got big goals.
Yeah, we do. Come on.
We need to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay?
We have to do it.
We're going to shoot for the moon right now. I mean, that's just the first baby step. So maybe we'll have a surprise when we hit that mark. But we can't do it without you guys. You got to help us. You got to share the show, pay the price.
That's your price.
Do you remember on Facebook back in the day those things? Share and you'll be blessed. If you don't share, you'll be cursed. Do you remember those? People would share them all the time.
Facebook
I'm going to start putting those in the show notes.
That's creepy.
I'm just kidding. I won't do that to you guys because you're gonna help carry us. This is a team movement.
Yeah, it is.
So put this in your group chat, and we can't wait to be back with you guys next week.
See you next week.
All right.